Up next is Clinton Vicks, founder and CEO of the Vicks Estate Farm and Fishery. Clinton is building a sustainable future with the Vicks Estate Farm and Fishery, securing $100,000 in funding and strengthening local food systems across Georgia. Please welcome Clinton.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming out in this weather. I'm the creator and owner of the Vicks Estate Farm and Fishery, a boutique farm and bed and breakfast found in the good life city of Albany, Georgia. So yeah, I did travel a little ways to get up here. I'm not from the metro Atlanta area, but that position needs to be in a niche place to cater to an underserved community, and that is rural South Georgia. What we've been able to accomplish, and I have to tell a little bit about myself to tell you about the business. I come from landowners whose great-grandfather in the 1800s bought land on both sides of my family. So after living in New York and DC, graduating from Howard University, performing at Juilliard, working in corporate America as well as for the federal government, I returned back to the place that groomed me into the man that I am so that I could really contribute to the people who expected so much leadership from me. This is our 5th year of business, and we have not only gained national attention, we've been able to gain international attention. This was not handed to me. As you can see, I bought a home that no one else wanted. But what I did remember at the time of buying this home is that this was the home that I saw at 5 years old on the school bus every morning going to elementary school. And I said, if I ever live in Albany, that's the home that I want to live in. Because to me it was so big and it was on a sprawling piece of land, and even then I could see the vision. Well, I manifested that into what you see today. Now I have taken a teacher's salary, no one helped me, no loans. I took my own money and put it into what I believe in. And I've created a business now that people thrive to come to. They come to because, as it said before, I don't just address the health. I address the health, wellness, as well as the spiritual part, because we have 3 things that we have to feed: mind, body, and soul. And I knew once I put my hand into the ground and reconnected with the place that had grown me into who I am, that I was doing not just the work that I was supposed to do, but I was working in my purpose. And now that I'm working in my purpose, everything I put my hand on turns to gold. As you can see, I've turned this bed and breakfast into a place that hosts people for multiple reasons. We feed the community not just in the stomach, but also culturally. We've hosted Juneteenth, we've hosted Kwanzaa. You can see people enjoying themselves, and that's me up there. So I don't always dress like this. I actually get down in the dirt, and that's me planting rice in Albany, Georgia. We grow some everything down there. Wow. We're taking what we've learned from our ancestors and redefining it back into what we already own and what we should have never let go of. And that is feeding each other and feeding the world. You must know that a lot of the vegetation that we grow in this country, like okra and watermelon, it didn't get here by happenstance. It got here because our ancestors who were enslaved brought it in their hair. They knew that wherever they were going, they had to feed themselves, and now we're able, because of those braided seeds, to be able to feed masses of people. And it's my responsibility to make sure that the younger generation understands this is your right, this is your ownership, and this is the new face of farming. My work takes me far beyond just the bed and breakfast. I've had the privilege of traveling to Washington, D.C. to advocate for climate justice, to advocate for farmers. I've had the opportunity to go down to Florida and advocate for SNAP rights and food justice. I've had the opportunity to be here in Atlanta at the Hope Bryant Forum, where the microphone was placed in my hand, and because I'm the person that I am, I took that opportunity to share a message that was very important to be heard, and now it's elevated me to be able to be a part of the Truist Fellowship. You see me standing next to a very influential person throughout the history of this country and civil rights, and that's Mr. Andrew Young. So know that from farming, I've been able to elevate that platform to something that reaches more than just local Georgia, it reaches the masses. And that's what I'm encouraging you and others who hear this story to understand as well. Once you get into a position where you're thinking about others, anything that you envision will manifest. Just 2 months ago, on Earth Day, I had the opportunity to position the Vicks Estate Farm and Fishery as one of the key partners to host an international AgriTech conference at Albany State University, where I brought in someone from Spain who focuses on climate control growing in greenhouses, where we were able to bring in partners like the General Counsel of the Netherlands, whose General Counsel is here today, we were able to introduce ourselves to individuals like sheep farmers. One here today who owns 76 acres of land, a black woman that's a sheep farmer. We were able to meet scientists and doctors from Howard University like Dr. Clinton Vicks, who is focusing on hydroponic growing right now. So this small seed that was planted is blossoming into something that I never even envisioned. But once again, when you're moving in your purpose, all you have to do is do the work and ensure that whatever is supposed to happen will happen. We have partners such as ACT, UFarmX, which is out of Washington, D.C., and this executive director does work in Africa. So he's traveled back to the motherland to make sure that our ancestors and the people that we come from are not being misrepresented and also have opportunities to have access to many things that they don't. Underrepresented people deserve to be served as well as marginalized communities, and that's the work that we promote from the Vicks Estate Farm and Fishery. Yes, you come to eat, yes, you come to sleep, but you stay for the experience and for the learning that takes place when you're at that location, and for the message that you're able to carry forth with you after being there. I had to show some of the beautiful spreads that I prepare. I'm also the chef at this location, so nothing that comes out of that place is not produced by my hands. I believe that your energy goes into your work, and when people come, I want them to understand how passionate I am about what I do. I started out as a classroom teacher, and I left that field 3 years ago to work full-time at the bed and breakfast. And the way that I was able to create this place is by taking my teacher's salary and reinvesting it into my idea. When I couldn't get family food.
Come on,
You know where I'm going.
Yeah.
So you must believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You must know that if something is put into your mind, the seed is planted, is there for a reason, and it will grow and it will produce. And so yes, I'm here today with people leaving reviews like awesome experience, great food. Clinton is an incredible host. What a magical host, but it's not just about me. It's about the purpose of what I'm doing. So I come to you today letting you know that we've taken what we started and now expanded into agri-technology. We're bridging the gap between AI innovation and a traditional, one of the oldest industries there, which is farming and agriculture, so that we're not left behind and so that we take a center place. I've been able to use the Vicks Estate Farm and Fishery to now allow me to be the community engagement specialist from Savannah to Columbus for Georgia AIM, which is a $64 million funded EDA grant that exposes rural America to AI innovation. We have a $1.4 million mobile unit that was designed by Georgia Tech, where I actually take it into these communities to show the young people as well as the older ones what is possible so that we're not left behind in this technological advancing gap that's happening right now. We're closing it. Know what the future holds so that we can be a part of it, not just as an active worker, but as thinkers and innovators and leaders. So I come saying that I want to raise $250,000, but know that I've already raised $300,000. And that's not just for me. I was able to give 2 other farmers for $23,000 just this year out of that fund. I've also given another farmer an annual reoccurring grant where he will get a total of $30,000. I don't just work for myself because I'm always going to be a teacher even though I'm not in the classroom. And so this is my new platform, this is my new classroom, and this is my passion. I thank you all for your time, and I thank you for your attention.